Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2 here today on the channel. We're back with episode 9 of my DEI Divide Et Impera Spartan campaign. Here today, we're about to declare war upon the mighty Persian Empire. We currently have 4 full stacks pushing into the Caucasus and, well, thousands of nations under the Persian Empire are going to be battling us, I guess. So they've got a decent amount of territory in the Caucasus here, so we're going to push into there. In the last episode, if you haven't gone and seen it, I highly recommend you do. We managed to take the River Nile and most of the Egyptian core territory. They're still alive, they're still kicking about. They've got Cyprus, but they're about to fall very soon. We've got 2 armies here. I guess we'll push into Ethiopia. We might open up a front down in Africa there. We've got 2 more armies there. We could even push westward. We've got some other armies up north of Illyria, sort of in the Dacian Hungarian territory. We could open up another front, but this is what the Spartan Empire now looks like. We've still got a decent military alliance with Rome, and we've got a fragile alliance with the Seleucids and Armenians. We might get to a point when we sort of extend, we'll take out Persia, we'll try and pick out some of these smaller factions in and around us, but we might just go and just take their territory, like just betray them, because I kind of want it. So, the Seleucids and Armenians are not that strong compared to us. We're still currently under the reign of King Arias. The dude's 55, still going on, which is hilarious. Our family tree is quite large as well, as you can see, and we do have a fair few sort of oppositional candidates in the noble families and rival dynasties. That's due to our confederations. But Leonidas is potentially the future king, and Cleomenes as well. So we'll declare war upon the... Oh, they refuse. No way. Well, that's just settled it then. I guess we're going to war with the Armenians after we deal with the Persians. So we'll siege out the settlement so it blocks the reinforcement and the garrison coming in, and we'll move most of these guys up. So most of these units are actually units from the Krypteria faction, from the Crimea. But this should be a good fight. Our first one against the Persians. Look at this general, though. Quite crazy. He seems to be the embodiment of Xerxes looking at that command, I guess. So we're pushing into the Caucasus and our the Caucasus, right. We got our units from the Crimea. There's too many words starting with the words the letter C. Getting a little bit confused. Anyway, let's get stuck in. It's going to be a good one. Our first time fighting with sort of ethnic Krypteria units, because we confederated with them in the last episode. Alright, the Forgotten Warriors of Persia. Not too many cavalry or archers, because that can be a major concern against these eastern factions. If they tend to spam it, it can be a little bit tough. But thankfully, we've got a bunch of decent hoplite Hellenic units here. We've even got some lighter swordsmen as well we can chuck on the flanks, and if we need to flank, pivot and rotate, they're more than capable to do so. Overall, we have actually a bunch of cavalry, so we should be able to make a nightmare, a bit of a menace on them, and let's start the battle. But let's have a look at these units. I'm going to pause because I want to show you guys. So here are some... Oh, so these guys are like steppe units, eh? Oh, yeah, because I guess Scythia was quite close to the Crimea. That's quite cool. So here are the lighter skirmish units, and then we have sort of colonial Hellenic units. So there's a couple of symbols and stuff that I recognize. Oh, so it's actually not a Spartan core unit at the back, but it's okay. It's all Greek to me. We all fly under the Spartan banner. Once we start losing these units, we're going to be able to get ethnically core Spartan units in, because we've only hit one of the reforms. There's still, I think it's turn 2. Oh, I can't remember now. There's one at about 150, 200 turns that we can get more and better quality Spartan units. I can't remember the name of the Hellenic ones, because obviously you've got like pre-Marian reform units. Like Rome's a really good example because most people know that. So you've got like your Triarii and your Hastati, and then you've got Marian reform units where you actually start to get proper legionnaires and stuff. And then you have, I guess, like late Empire units or Empire units. The Hellenic world has a similar thing. We've hit one of those reforms, our first. There's still another one to come, but I don't think I've honestly played a campaign past 300 turns. DEI connoisseurs that played this game for months, because I know there's some of you out there that like this is the Total War you play. Like how many military reforms are there per factions? Obviously each faction's probably going to have limited amounts and stuff. You'd think like the Romans probably have the most, and then probably the Greeks. Okay, so the Persians here seem to be just forming up in a pretty decent formation. We've got additional reinforcements coming in, so we'll just wait to rally up. I guess we'll make this sort of some sort of huge V. I guess we'll just make our faction logo bang smack in the middle of the battle map. Why not? But we're in no rush. Form everyone up, and then we'll try and charge and envelop the Persians. For tonight, we dine in hell. We gotta speed things up. Allow everyone to get into their position. Get their breath back. Get ready. Freshen up for a charge. Okay, looks like the Persians are moving an infantry unit in. Oh, no, it's a cavalry unit. Ooh. We're skirmishing them. Not the best charge, but it's okay. So fierce fighting is now broken out. They got some sort of axes or something on them. Okay. Trying to just pierce straight through the front line. That's not going to work. Okay, let's slow things down, because we're going to have to give out individual attack orders. We'll make sure every one of my Spartan units targets, picks, and sort of locks down in to a Persian unit, and then I'll get the rest to overlap and flank. There we go. Yeah, and then there's like grab this. We've got a huge cavalry spam as well. Just try and chuck everyone in. A lot of attack orders need to go out, so I just need to slow it down. And like with these, like all this cavalry, man, we could just get them to like hit one unit. They might be able to just like punch on through. So they've taken a little bit of high ground, so it's going to take a little bit for us to push. But man, oh man, we've got a lot of soldiers here on the battlefield. Far out. Okay, they're skirmishing us for a bit. We just need to sort of get stuck in, because sitting back, copping all that skirmish fire ain't going to be good for us. I've given out orders for everyone, but the problem is sometimes the units, we lose line of sight on them, so the order gets cancelled. So that's not too bad of a charge there. I know. Charging cavalry into spears, but that was a nice charge, 50%. They're not the most heavily armoured Persian units. Okay, some of these attack orders are going a bit haywire. We have to give them out a bit here, because they've pulled back. We're struggling to push on some sides. Let's pull that cavalry out, I guess. Yeah. Got about 50 in the charge. I thought it would do a bit better. Move you up here. Alright. So we've got a lot of... Yeah, so this has got a crazy amount of unit diversity here. Looks like we've got some sort of Thracian units. Just looking at the curved blade. Fighting in this army build. Then we've got some Easterners here. Here are some of the Hellenic boys from the Crimea, from the colonies. We even have some of our own Eastern units fighting against them. That's what I love about DEI, man. Having the cultural differences in your army build is so cool. Because quite often if you fight and you lose a lot of casualties in a territory, you got to recruit from the local populace. It's happened already in our Egyptian campaign. We're relying on African, Ethiopian, and Egyptian units. Now that some of the Spartans were lost in the conquest of Egypt. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. We'd like me to expand and conquer. So, we've got enough armies now, 12 stacks, to basically fight on 3 fronts. I kind of like to have at least 4 stacks per faction, sort of 4 fronts, you know what I mean? So what we'll do, I think, with these 4 armies, we'll push into Persia, try and take their territory. But now the damn Armenians have betrayed me. They refused to go to war with Persia, and they broke their military alliance against me. So we might have to betray them. Well, I guess they betrayed me. So we'll see how we go. But they might have a decent amount of units. I think they're stronger than the Seleucids at the moment, to be honest. But so far we're trading. We're slowly but surely pushing against the Persians here. A little bit back and forth. I'm trying to get my cavalry in as best we can. But we're doing well against the Persians. They have the numbers in these units. They just don't have the armor. Even their shields are quite weak as well. Made out of straw by the look of it. Oh, like they're woven, you know what I mean? They're not sort of metal forged. But the Persians do have sort of a... I don't know what it's called. It's like a very heavy spear unit. They're really quite good. Like, they're kind of similar to the Sacred Band that the Carthaginians have. So we'll push against the Persians with this army. But yeah, I guess we might push into Gamantia. Because we've got some... The thing is with DEI, it takes so long to move your armies around the map. So although we've got armies in Egypt, if we wanted them to go to Persia here, it'd probably take us like 15 turns to move it. So sometimes it's worth just sort of picking apart some of the smaller kingdoms in and around major factions when you've conquered them. Because we've conquered Egypt, we put a lot of investment there. We might as well take the smaller factions in and around it, you know what I mean? Because if not, if we leave, they're probably going to betray us. The Ethiopians and sort of the Gamantians, and the African tribes, and North African tribes to the south and west. So we'll put some investment in there. Up in the north, we're doing really well. Like, against the barbarians, because they are very much undivided and able to be conquered. And they've got a lot of, particularly food and valuable resources up there. But our first fight against the Persian Empire for years looks like it might end in a Spartan victory. Hoorah! That's what I'm talking about. Alright. There we go. But they seem to have a pretty decent empire at the moment, which is cool. Because I think a lot of those factions, particularly in the east, start off as puppets of the Seleucids. They are not doing well in this series. They have a lot less armies than what I anticipated. They got smashed by the Egyptians in Asia Minor, and at least they've got an alliance with the Armenians, but man, the Seleucids, in most Total Wars and playthroughs, have a bit of a hard time of it, I guess. So we'll just try and run down as many of them as possible, and then we'll be able to take some territory against the Persians. Because they've expanded into the Caucasus. Because I guess sort of Iran would be their sort of core territory, eh? Where most of their units and manpower and stuff comes from. So they've actually done alright. I guess this was former Armenian territory, technically, here. So maybe that's why they were keen to not go to war with the Persians again, the Armenians, because, well, they already lost this territory. They don't want to lose any more. Because they're technically a little bit more west. They're in sort of that Trebizond territory, eh? So we deployed 1,200... Wow, 12,000, right, I'm reading that wrong. 12,900 Spartans against 5,000 Persians. That was a crazy battle. Numerically, that was nearly 20k. Look at the casualties sustained and inflicted. Oh wow, these hoplites did really quite well. Cavalry did decent. Wow, even the... Wow. Sound like bloody Owen Wilson. The lighter units got 243. That's quite impressive. But our first field battle against the Persians has ended in a resounding Spartan victory. Hoorah! So, ideally, once we have all this eastern territory, I think we'll go to war with Rome. Like, that'll be good. Oh god, I can't even imagine trying to conquer Rome, to be honest. It's probably going to take us like 10 episodes if we even try and attempt it. Because they are so built up at the moment. I was kind of fine with allowing them to build up because I just was focusing so much on the east. Like, look, if they war decked me, because sometimes it happens quite often that Rome's like, hey, we want Greece, we want to throw everything in, but we were able to play them quite well diplomacy-wise in the early game because we declared war upon Epirus. I think we might even join their war, so they were happy because they were able to take Taurus quite quickly from us. And ever since then, there has been a firm alliance between Sparta and the Roman Empire. Okay, so we should be able to push in here. Can we get that other army up? No. That's a shame. I guess we'll just take it then. Yeah, because this is more sort of Armenian heartland, you'd think. Sure. Let's go this one. Yeah, that's what I want. We'll build some siege equipment, I guess. Because we've got time. We're in no rush. We even get a better auto resolve once those units come in. We could get some mercs, but nah, we're fine. Okay. I think we're better off just 62% isn't too bad. Yeah. Let's just take it. Oh, one unit there lost. 10k will loot. Perfect. Actually might be worth having a hoplite barracks here. Let's move you here. What have we got access to? Caucasus levies, and there's some Scythian units here as well. Yeah, I guess that's what they were. Not Thracian, Scythian units. During the intern phase, the Dacians want to become... yeah, they want to become my vassal. Okay, I guess we'll accept that. We had a war against them a while ago, but they've bent the knee to the Spartan Empire. Sure. Okay, we've got the Spartan Navy. And we'll move it to Cyprus. The Seleucids are going to help out navally. And this should be the end of the Egyptians. Hopefully. Let's have a look. Yeah, they've got no more territory. They've only got a small army in the open sea. The Pharaoh is hanging out in the middle of the sea. We'll replenish and repair where we can. So a little bit annoying that we lost Tyros to one of my allies. Well, no more. The alliance was broken. I hate when the AIs go in there and take your territory. We've been attacked here, which is quite surprising. The Persians have reacted quite quickly, but we should be able to deal with this army really easily. Yeah, it's fled back. You're going to give it to the Persians. They love throwing their units away. Just trying to attack me with over-resounding force. For death or glory, another Persian army has been destroyed. Okay. I guess we sort of continue on the initiative here, because there's a couple more territory here, so yeah, Armenian territory there. So we'll push here against the Persians. Oh, okay. Decent garrison. With one stack. We are struggling to replenish and repair because we just haven't got essentially the population inside. We might have to actually get some of our own Persian units for the time being. We'll eventually bring back Greek hoplites and Spartans in our build, but sometimes you just got to recruit what you can. We've got a gold mine here, that's good. We'll be able to trade and flog that off. We must be coming close to nearly getting every trade resource in the game. We've got quite a lot. Look at in the bottom left, it's huge. So they've only got a couple more pieces of territory left. Oh, well, actually, no, it's a bit more. Yeah, now this is sort of the Persian territory. The core territory. Okay, back over in North Africa. We're going to try and make a play against the Germantians. Actually, we might be able to get a confederation with Cyrenaica, and we are. They're at war with a lot of people. And we'll bring them under Spartan rulership. Cool. Saves me conquering it, if they're more than happy to join the Spartan Empire. They've got a couple of units here. We probably don't need the navy, but we probably could use that army, I guess. We don't need the second one. We haven't got the money for it either. Yeah, so we've got some Cyrene units, which is cool. Oh, here we go. This is the military victory conditions, I think. The movie. Hey, victory. Military victory. Campaign 1. Sweet. Well, there's some of the stats. 254 BC, we hit our military victory conditions. Well, I'm going to continue, of course, because there's still a lot more I want to achieve in this campaign. There's still a lot more factions I'd like to war as well. We came quite close to this. Like, we already had the territory for this victory condition in episode 5, didn't we? Due to those military alliances. We've only just now hit the... Well, we can't even see it now, which is annoying. But I guess the unit requirement, we were quite low on that. So we've still got the economic and the cultural victory. Man, 9,000 talents. I don't think we'd be able to get that in DEI. That's quite a lot. Okay, so I guess we're going to push against the sort of the Germantian sort of desert nomads here. A merchant from distant land requires trade. Regular silk. Oh, cool. I guess we'll try and monopolize it. But as we're in the east now, we've managed to come into contact with the Silk Road, I guess. Cool. Alright, well, Leonidas has been sent south to Ethiopia. I guess we'll declare war against these guys, because we've got Axum. Yeah, so these are sort of the African tribes in Ethiopia. We'll declare war upon them in the next, and I guess we'll try and take all of Libya. Back up in the north, we're still dealing with the Persian front, so we should have some more battles against them. And we are only at war with the Egyptians and the Persians for now. Back over up in the barbarian front, I guess we'll make some plays into Dacia. We do have a vassal in Dacia, so I guess we've got an ally there, which is kind of cool. But here is the Spartan Empire. We'll start opening up some more fronts. And there's still a lot more episodes and cool factions I want to play against. And I still haven't forgotten the plan to betray the Seleucids and the Armenians. I guess once we sort of maybe get rid of the Ethiopians, Libyans, Persians, I guess we could move all those armies back to sort of the Seleucid territory in Armenian. It would take us quite a bit to get there, but yeah, because we don't want to push... Yeah, we probably don't want to push into Germantia. Like, we don't want to push any westward. We can't push any further south, so maybe that's the play. I don't know. Let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. But I am tempted to declare war upon the Ethiopians here. I think this would be a good battle. Like, they're just there. You know what I mean? We could have a decent open field battle to start things off in episode 10. Coming out soon. Alright. Hope you guys are still enjoying this Spartan campaign. I'm still having an absolute blast. There's still a lot of cool factions to play against. Alright, take care guys. I'm going to play the outro now. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Gotta say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks guys, my name has been Simpzy, much love from Australia, goodbye.